You would not believe what I just went through to get the lighting the way that this is. Hello and welcome to my video about my top 10 most underrated Taylor Swift songs according to my opinion. This is my final project for my content creation class, so if you are a normal viewer of my YouTube channel, I think you'll enjoy this anyway, and if you are my class or my instructor, hello, I hope you enjoyed this as well. Taylor Swift has a discography of around 300 songs, so of course it's impossible for all of them to get the same amount of attention. She is wildly successful and has multiple songs that have accumulated over 1 billion streams each on Spotify alone. As a lifelong Taylor Swift fan and also a songwriter myself, I feel very qualified to present to you my list today of Taylor Swift's most underrated songs. These songs are not going to be in order of the most to least underrated, so the spots 10 and 1 mean absolutely nothing. But these are the songs that I feel are slept on. Number 1, we have Renegade. Renegade was actually a single that was produced by a band called Big Red Machine, and Taylor Swift was a co-writer and a feature on it. This song is super catchy, but it still hits the heart for many different types of relationships, not just romantic. The song portrays what it feels like to love a broken person. The pain of picking up shattered pieces, being damaged by someone else's damage, and begging the person to get better so it's easier to love them. These are all feelings and experiences that are described in the lyrics. Number 2, we have The Other Side of the Door. This is from her Fearless album. It was actually a bonus track on the Platinum Edition. The Other Side of the Door exposes every teenage girl's fantasy of fighting with a boyfriend only to have him wait around for hours in the rain to prove his love and commitment. The song achieves 2 things. It brings the drama of the actual situation of fighting with a significant other while also exposing the real and honest feelings behind the words said. Number 3, we have The Last Time from the Red album. This song is a duet featuring Gary Lightbody. The decision to make this a duet allows for a fuller story to be told of 2 lovers on the brink of a breakup trying one last time to make things right. The song is nearly 5 minutes long, which mimics the feeling of a long, drawn-out end to a relationship just because of apologies and last-ditch efforts happening over and over again. Number 4, we have Suburban Legends. This song was a vault track that was featured on 1989 Taylor's version that was released just last year in 2023. This one purely made the list because of lyrical creativity. There are many metaphors and similes and other figures of speech that paint a very relatable picture of lost dreams of a young love. One of my personal favorite lyrics is in the second verse, and it says, "I had the fantasy that maybe our mismatched star signs would surprise the whole school when I ended up back at a class reunion walking in with you." This just cleverly captures the nostalgia of juvenile love. Testing compatibility on star signs and naively assuming everyone in the school will still care about that as adults at the reunion years later is so beautifully reminiscent of what it is like to be a young teenager in a romantic situation. Number 5, we have Cowboy Like Me, which was featured on the 2020 album Evermore. Cowboy Like Me is another lyrics pick. The song was buried in an album that followed an album that won Album of the Year. Because of this, the entire album of Evermore in general just did not get the attention that it deserved, but this song specifically is very polarizing in the Swiftie community. Many fans don't like it because it's very slow and the instrumentals are very simple, but other fans like me are obsessed with it because it's very dreamy and there's a lot of descriptive imagery and storytelling. Number 6, we have High Infidelity from the 3 AM version of Midnights. This song shows a very interesting perspective. More often than not, songwriters will portray themselves as the good guy or the victim in their songs, and it's very black and white. But High Infidelity toys with a much more complicated situation. Taylor Swift confesses to being unfaithful to her partner in this song, but she claims that her partner is leaving her feeling unloved, unimportant, and that her love affair brought her back to life. She brings complex feelings and situations to life and makes listeners want to be on her side for behaving in a way that is usually greatly looked down upon in society. Number 7, we have maybe my all-time favorite Taylor Swift song, which is Fresh Out the Slammer. This is from the Tortured Poets Department album released earlier this year, 2024. There is much to be analyzed in this song. The subject is widely debated among Taylor Swift fans, but I personally believe it to be an ode to herself. She is describing what it's like to return to her old self after changing so much for the sake of a dying relationship. Every single line is packed with meaning, and this meaning is emphasized and enriched by the musical decisions as well. Number 8, I was originally going to go with the Albatross, so I'll make that an honorable mention, but I decided about last week to change it to Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. I thought more people liked this song. I have realized I am one of a relative few. This song is just so well written and uses very creative lyrics like Swift often does to portray a feeling of a will they won't they that lasted over a decade. You can just feel everything that she's feeling, but also very clearly picture specific scenes that she describes. Number 9, we're throwing it back all the way to 2006 for Cold As You from her debut album, self-titled Taylor Swift. The songwriting, of course, is not as complex or flowery as her songs are now, given that she was around 15 or 14 years old when she wrote it. Despite her young age, she still displays high emotional maturity, just like she does on many other songs on that album, and even adults going through heartbreak can still resonate with the feelings she describes. And finally, our number 10 song. Again, 10 doesn't mean anything, but the very last song I want to discuss with you today is Endgame from her Reputation album, released in 2017. This specific song and the album as a whole were a very dramatic shift from what type of music she was making before. She didn't stick to the same bubblegum pop formula that we heard on her previous album, 1989, but she was able to adapt and adjust extremely well to a genre more suited to her featured artists, which were Future and Ed Sheeran. Instead of expecting them to merge with her more typical bubblegum pop sound, she leaned more into their genres of hip-hop and rap, and she did it well without compromising her well-crafted lyrics. Of course, it's impossible for every Taylor Swift song to become a number 1 hit. Some of them, like the ones I listed in this video, just weren't released under the right circumstances, or that wasn't even her intention for the song. These songs may not be her most successful, but they are still beautifully and thoughtfully crafted. And there are still plenty of people, such as myself, out there who enjoy them and appreciate them for what they are. That is my top 10 underrated Taylor Swift songs according to my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Bye.